So Elena Cardone is a very, very, very successful businesswoman. She's a successful actress as well, appeared in many television series, yes, including NBC USA High, CSI, NCIS Las Vegas, and Two and a Half Men. Elena also had a recurring role on Grounded for Life and Days of Our Lives.
True.
That was and much more, to be honest. I just wanted to keep it short, but Elena had just amazing experience as an actress. And you're also a co-host with your husband, Grant Cardone, of the online show, which is called the GE Show, which is now for over 2 years. And I was really surprised because it's every Wednesday you there, and it's amazing. I will have a question about that to you. Elena has strong views on relationships and has lots of great advice and videos on that topic. So I was just amazed of this point of view, and I will ask you about that, to be honest. She's an international speaker, multimillionaire, woman in power, wife of Grant Cardone, mother of 2 beautiful and amazing daughters, a big supporter of charities, and an inspiration for many women and men all over the world, including me.
Thank you.
Elena,
wow, what a great introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing your work, your heart, your mission, and your message to the world. So just to start with the first question, after achieving so much and living, someone could call the dream life on the top, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay focused and hungry when you are, here with your life?
That is a great question. I do get asked that all the time, and how I stay motivated is I create my own motivation.
Okay.
I feel like some people wait for motivation to hit them.
Yeah.
I'm in this state of motivation, and then they're going to just propel and do everything and achieve everything they want. Well, that's not the case. For me, that's never been the case. I'm just not motivated. The times I am motivated are when I'm really connected to my purpose and who I am and what are my goals and what am I trying to achieve. And then when I create my motivation by doing it anyway. How you stay motivated is the times when you least want to do something, that's when you do it anyway. That's when you take your run on the beach. That's when you make the phone call. That's when you, whatever it is you really don't want to do, that's when you do it. And that creates motivation. That's when it's there for you, even when you don't want it. It becomes a muscle, a habit.
Yeah, and what you just said, in this moment, that you don't want to do it, it's the moment you should do it even harder and more. Yeah,
that's right, because then it makes your purpose that much stronger. It gives you the impetus to move forward, and you become bigger as a being when you know you can accomplish things even when you don't want to, or even when it hurts the most, physically, mentally, whatever. You grow as a person for not only yourself but your family, your community, and you become just an overall better person for the world.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so guys, just do what you have to do. Do what is in your to-do list. Just follow your mission and your purpose, as you said.
Right, and then also, just to add one little tiny thing to that is, really acknowledge yourself when you do the things that you didn't want to do. Acknowledge your little wins, even no matter how small they are. Even if it was you didn't have dessert when everybody else did. You have no idea. It's like a little drop in a pond, or like an earthquake in the middle of the ocean. There's no waves, but by the time it hits the shore, it's a huge tsunami. Those things make such a big difference. The little things in life, that mount up to greatness over time.
I can feel your motivation and your passion, and just to refer to the obsessions and can you tell me what are you obsessed about? What are your passion? What are your obsessions?
Well, I have a lot, one thing that really motivates me is Grant and I being a team and being leaders. It holds us accountable for ourselves in our life, and we really want to help people. That's like our purpose. Like, we really want to put ourselves out there. So that's just who I am. I want to be big, and I'm obsessed with that. So anything I ever can do to help Grant or to become a better parent or to help my community, like, I'm all in. And that makes me bigger and less focused on the little small petty things that tempt me or happen to me every single day, because I'm human just like everybody else. Like, you know, little things bother you when you're not playing big enough games.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I have a question about women in power, because you empower women. You have, you know, this mission. You want women to be successful, to live the life they desire for the families, also for themselves. Tell me about the women in power. Why it's so important for you, and why we should take a notice of that as well.
Well, I created this show because I really have an interest. You know, I'm a woman. Like, what does that mean? I spent a lot of my life being kind of confused because I wanted to compete with men. And so I wanted to always prove myself. You know, this is when I was a lot younger, you know. I wanted to compete with men. And then I finally got to this point where, like, what am I doing? Why don't I just be a woman? And, like, what is that? And I found it to be so much bigger than just trying to compete with a man. Like, what was that, you know? So in finding that in who I am as a woman and doing things as a woman, no matter what it is, even if it's a man's world kind of a thing, even at the shooting range, you know, I've taken up shooting, like what is how can I shoot the very best as a woman? Not trying to be like a man shooting, but like, so in finding myself, I created this show because I wanted, if I can help anyone out there that wants inspiration when they watch, I've interviewed other successful women, no matter what their post in life is, from a housewife to a firewoman to successful actors to, you know, running multi-million-dollar companies. Like what is it that, what is the thread line that we all have, and how, if a mistake I've made or someone else has made can help you fast track your journey, that's what I want to give women. Like, how can you be the very best you, not the very best idea of what somebody else thinks you should be or what you think you should be?
That's the big thing, what you just said. Yeah, it's so important if you really live your life as you feel inside, your purpose, not somebody else's idea of you, somebody else's dreams about you. So that's a huge thing. And I would like to ask you about that as well. If you could give 3 tips for a woman who would love to be at the same time, you know, successful in business, in the career, and as well extraordinary in her relationship. So she would love to have both. What would you advise to?
Well, the very first thing I would advise is make sure you pick the right partner. Like, you really need to pick the right partner. No one taught me how to pick the right partner. Before I met Grant, it was just like this, I went on this like love at first sight kind of a thing, you know what I mean? And I thought that's what love was. And then I would be in a relationship with someone, and then I discovered, well, they're not the idea of who I thought they were. So it wasn't until I met Grant and we started off as friends that I was like, wait a minute, this is totally different. And then we wrote out like what we wanted and needed from each other. And then, you know, we could align with that. And then I just fell in love with him, like the real dude, like the real idea. It wasn't like I got bamboozled by some idea of who I thought someone was supposed to be, and then hated them when they weren't that person, you know? But wait, ask me that question again.
3 tips you would give to a female entrepreneur who would love to have both.
Okay, so pick right. Find out who you were with before. Do you have the same goals, the same purposes? Does he think your ideas are big, small? Is he willing to support you? Like, really, don't just judge that in love feeling, because over time, that might go away. I mean, with Grant and I, we create it all the time, so it doesn't go away. But you know what I'm trying to get at. Number 2, what would I say to them, to women who...
like from the second thing, I would understand, ask Don't assume, oh, he's this or that. Ask what
Find
are the
out
values.
who you are.
Yeah.
Then in the relationship, like, make sure you complete your cycles of action. Like if I have to do something for work, make sure you finish it completely. Like really get honest and straight with yourself. Can you do what you need to do in X amount of time without getting sidetracked with phone calls or a Facebook or Instagram, what you think is important, and then you go home and you have this incompleted cycle, which you knew you should have done. Then you go with your boyfriend or husband, but your mind is someplace else, and then they're like, you're not really with me, and it creates this thing. What I would say is, do what you're doing 100% and finish it. Get it done so that you can be with the spouse 100% of the time and give whatever action you're doing 100%. Even if I didn't finish it, what can you do about it? If it's now time for blah, 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 give blah, blah, blah your 100% and then go back and like get it done and knock out the waste time, you know?
So as I understand, just be present. Whatever you do, stay present with the task. If you're at work, just finish the work. If you are with your husband, with your spouse, just give your 100%.
Right, and for Grant and I, it's about quality time. We're not like quantity people. I know a lot of women have come to me and they want time with their spouses, like whole entire evenings, and they don't want the spouse to be on the working or doing anything else. To me, that's greedy. Like, if I want to be with my partner and support my partner, like, they can have times where they're working and still be with me and give me quality time. Like, I don't, that's what I would say. Like that goes back to, what is your idea of what you think a relationship should look like, or who's painted the picture that you have to have this certain time or this relationship has to look this certain way? The beauty of being who you are is you get to create, what does my relationship look like? The more I let Grant do his work stuff when we're together, the more he wants to be with me and the more fulfilled we are. You know, he's not like resenting, like, oh, now I got to go be with her and I can't do what I really want, you know?
Yeah, wow, that's also very important. And then you have time for yourself, and he has time for the work. And he doesn't feel guilty that he works, because I think that sometimes it's also that we make the other person guilty of like not giving enough time. And I find you and Grant is just such an amazing example and such an amazing couple. An inspiration, I must say. And I would like to ask you, because you're very busy. You have your passions, your obsessions, and Grant has his, and you create such amazing marriage. And my question would be, how you still prioritize your work and the time for your passions in this relationship?
Well, I have my certain role. Grant and I have different roles in our marriage. Like in our relationship, it's more traditional. Okay. Where he's more of the business, the breadwinner. He runs the office, the household. I run the family. I make all the decisions with the kids in the school and the parent-teacher conferences, and I run all of that, so he doesn't have to do every single event. And I don't coordinate with him on everything. So even though I might want to do my own personal things, if those things are out and causing an upset in the family, like kids aren't being fulfilled or fighting or upsets are occurring, then that's my responsibility, because I'm the overseer of that department. So I'm not doing personal time if I'm flunking on my role as what I've chosen as a wife and as a mother. So Grant has to be taken care of, the kids have to be taken care of. When I have that post, that job completely stable, then I can do all the other stuff, which is what I'm doing now, because they're a little older. I've kind of figured things out more. So now I have time to challenge myself physically and try new things. I'm trying a lot of new things this year, you know? But it challenges my mind, and a lot of what I do in our role, Grant and our relationship, is, it's kind of hard to explain, but I kind of just oversee things. And so these stretching of my mind and body, and it stretches me to be a bigger person and be willing to take steps that are uncomfortable. Like cutting certain people out of my life or our life that I feel don't really or shouldn't be there, even though they're friends of ours.
Yeah,
I mean, it
of
takes
course.
guts, it takes courage to be
Of
like,
course.
no, you're out of the line.
Yeah.
You know, little things like that.
Thank you for this answer, and I have another question about the show you run with Grant, because you have a few of your own online shows, also Women in Power, and the show you run with Grant about how to be a successful power couple, which I love, because I'm taking an inspiration from what you sharing with Grant in the show. And as a business woman, I also know how difficult sometimes it's for me, and this is a question, to create a new great ideas for the weekly show. So my question is, how do you come up with ideas for a weekly show, and how you prepare yourself to keep things fresh?
Well, Grant and I usually, either people write in or leave comments.
Okay.
If you watch our show, you see them on Grant Cardone TV.
Yeah.
And then people comment. So either I read the comments, or people reach out to me on email or through social media, Instagram, Elena Cardone, people direct message me. So sometimes some of them pull my attention, and I go, Grant, we got to talk about this, because I'm hearing this enough times now where it's a situation for people. A lot of the time, or my friends in their life, I see what's happening in their marriages or whatever, and I bring it up to the forefront. But most of the time, it's whatever we've got going on in our life, whether we had a quarrel and we need to figure it out, or how it happened, or why it happened, and then we kind of dissect it, so that other people can maybe
benefit from
you know, like save somebody else the agony, you know?
Yeah, definitely, and it does the work, to be honest. And I see there's like so many people following you, and leave the comments. So I hear what you're saying, like you just listen your audience, you listen what people want.
I love the comments.
Yeah, they leave the comment, you see it, and if it's like something which is like repeatedly showing, then you're taking this on board, and it's a great piece of advice.
Also, Grant and I just opened an email.
Yeah.
It's help at grantcardone.com, help at grantcardone.com. We've set somebody up there to answer questions 24/7. Just write what it's about in the subject line, whether it's success, finance, marriage. Put that in the subject line, and someone will get back to you and answer this, because we've had so many people reach out to us that I feel like I neglect certain people. So we arrange this so that anyone that wants to ask us can get an official answer from us, but via somebody else.
Thank you. It's a great thing you're doing this, and I see how many people you actually helping. So thank you very much for that. You come across with Grant as a couple, that you support each other like 100%. No matter what, you're always there for him, and he's always there for you. Yeah. So my question would be: is it like something natural for you, or is something you have to work out like daily?
Well, honestly, in the beginning of our marriage and how I was earlier in life, I had considerations. Remember I told you I competed with guys?
Yeah.
I was like, no guy is better than me. And so for me, the first few years of our marriage were painful for me, because I went through so many growing pains of, I felt like I was selling out if I supported him or made him dinner. Was like a huge thing I had to overcome. That sounds ridiculous, right? But I thought I was giving up I felt like I was selling out women all across the world if I made him dinner. I kid you not, that's how my mind worked. And so I really had to look, well, where did that come from? Because why wouldn't I want to make Grant dinner? I mean, when I just would analyze things, but he dealt with a lot in the beginning from me. It was not easy. And now, after having that experience, it made me so much bigger. I can just have myself as a woman. I have no button on helping him, supporting him. It's just made me so much stronger than who I thought I was, being this, I'm not doing anything for a man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I know what it is not a struggle right now in present time, but there was a time where I really had to reevaluate myself and come over a lot of hurdles to bite the bullet on that one. Seriously.
You did a great job then, really, really, really well. My another question would be that you speak about relationships a lot in your videos, in your online shows. It seems like you have your kind of personal, philosophy on relationship, how it all works, what is the role for men, what is the role for women.
In our relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. But I never try to say that that's standard for everyone.
Yeah.
Some relationships, the guy might be my more role, the more supportive, and I would think that would be equally as powerful. Okay. So I never want to say it has to be, our way just happens to be in society more the traditional role, but I could see it being the other way.
Okay, so then every couple should just figure out the roles.
For us, it's, I finally got to a point where I wanted to flow power to the money source, to the, how can I use all of my assets to make our engine even more powerful? Yeah. And then I had the epiphany, wow, let me get behind this train and really, be the fuel. Yeah. And he's the frickin' jet, but I'm the fuel,
And jet without fuel.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Will stay at the airport.
Yeah. But anyway, I interrupted. Did I answer your question, or I interrupted it?
You answered, definitely. Maybe you would like to add something more. The question was, could you share advice, 3 fundamentals, for example, of a successful relationship?
Well, for me, I would have every person figure out what their definition of a successful relationship is, and see if they achieve their goals. Because I could see it being different for different people. For me, our relationship is successful because we have trust. Yeah. We have each other's back. We want to help people. We are continually working on ourselves to be better people as ourselves and as a couple and for the community. And then we're a success because we have a lot of fun and we laugh and we're best friends and we're lovers and we create the entire package. It didn't just happen. I didn't just fall in love with Grant and he rode me away on his horse. It was like it was literally a created thing. I didn't even talk to him for a year. 13 months he called me, and I never returned any of his phone calls. I loathed the guy. I did not even like him. So this was completely created. I created this life with him, and to me, that is a successful relationship. What can you create out of, and for me it came out of his trust and his unwavering love for me in the beginning, which really got my attention. I was like, this is not like any other man I have ever met. And so that, to me, makes up the bones and the structure for what fulfills me in a relationship.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I would like to also ask, because I know you lately decided to have a conference in 2017. Yeah. After many years, you finally, will invite people to come for the conference. It will be in March here in Miami. And I also know you will be one of the speakers.
Yeah, go figure. Grant threw that in the loop.
So tell me about you being an international speaker, and do you already know what will be your topic?
Yes, I do.
So can you share what will be?
I haven't developed the seminar yet, but I really want to do this thing on build an empire. Yeah. I feel like that's my platform. I feel like, we're not there yet, believe it or not, where we want to be as far as spiritually, as far as materialistically, and as far as reaching the amount of people with help that we want to deliver in terms of orders of magnitude. So we are always setting the bar higher, but someone from the outside could look at everything we have now and say, we have built a successful empire. So any tips that I can give and impart, and what I have learned and the discipline, and that's what I intend to deliver at the seminar, and really help couples come together for a greater purpose. All the couples out there, or individuals, they don't have to be couples, but anyone who's really interested in what it takes from someone that has successfully built an empire, what it takes. I plan on throwing it all out there.
Excellent topic, I must say. So guys, if you're watching this, it's before March. Buy the ticket for the 10X Growth Conference, which will be in March in Miami. You need to be
And
here.
they can go to 10xgrowthcon.com. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. I'm very excited about it.
I know a few speakers which will be there besides you and Grant, of course, and it's
Les Brown.
Yeah, already such amazing conference. So guys, you just have to be there. And the final question to you: if you could leave us with one final piece of advice from you to my audience, to my nation, what that would be?
I think the topic today, which is fresh on my mind, is really acknowledge yourself and go over the wins and successes that you've had in life and continue that. Learn from the losses, but don't spend a whole lot of time there. Like, move on and out of that as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Whenever I am stuck in a loss, I try to give myself more projects or more. I try to fill up my pipeline, because the more you're focused on futures and you just have something else going on, you're not going to stay stuck in this. You've got your attention into the future. So that would be the biggest thing for me, is just focus on your wins, focus on the futures, give yourself big enough projects that you're excited about, that you can stay hungry about, and don't sweat the small stuff, as they say. And I know it's not always easy, but it's practice. It takes practice not to sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
It takes practice not to wallow in the misery. You know, it takes practice to go to the gym when you don't want to. It takes practice to work the extra hours to make your family successful and depend on you financially. It takes, so just keep practicing those little muscles, and little by little, it doesn't have to be this huge thing, but little bits, little bits, and one day something will happen and you'll surprise yourself with how great you are.
Thank you so much for this amazing interview, for sharing your advice, your thoughts, your experience. It just has been amazing. So thank you so much for this. And today our guest was the one and only Elena Cardone, and we've been talking about how to stay motivated, how you build your successful life with relationship in your business, how to run an online show, how to be productive, and how to build an empire. I can say that was a small bit, and if you want to know more, definitely you need to follow Elena. I will leave all the links so you can find her online. So thank you so much.
I love my Instagram, and I'm very good at that one.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you.